also important, so they just can't mail it in here. It's the Black Knights going up against the Bulls.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Black Knights and the Brooklyn Bulls. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. Hey. Go down. Leopard. 36.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Play fake here on first down. And Green with a catch left side. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. On the right side, caught by Green. Great move, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. They find some open field here. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number? Let's say.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And it's good to make it 7-0. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford, he used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. These say laddie a lot. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Let's go!
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, he had his eyes on 200 yards last week, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. And he was really, really good. Fun to watch back in tape with you.
It was fun to watch, wasn't it? And he's trying to have the same type of a game in this one. But what was fun watching was how he read the defense. No matter what they presented, he had an answer for it, and that's why he was open during that game.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. And caught right side, Green. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.